What's up everybody? Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free book review of a new book that just released called These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. If you like what we do here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. I haven't really done many book reviews on the channel, but I put out a poll on Instagram to ask you all if it was something that you would be interested in, and overwhelmingly people said yes. So I'm going to try to do more of those. Let me know if you want them spoiler-free, spoiler, or mix. I see most people doing spoiler-free stuff, so I think that's kind of what most people want. They watch reviews before they buy books, so obviously they don't want to be spoiled before then. So I'm going to be talking about this book right here, These Hollow Vows. So first, let me tell you a little bit about what it's about. In the effort to explain this the best I can without spoiling anything by telling you all directly what it's about, I'm going to read what was already written on the book for you all. Bree would do anything before making a deal with the Fae. Death is preferable to their vicious schemes, but when her sister is taken by the sadistic king of the Unseelie Court, there is nothing Bree wouldn't do to get her back, including making a deal with the king himself to steal 3 magical relics from the rival Seelie Court. Gaining unfettered access to the Seelie Court is easier said than done. Bree's only choice is to pose as a potential bride for Prince Ronan, the Seelie prince, who's not quite as wicked as she once thought. Unwilling to let her heart distract her, she accepts help from a band of Unseelie misfits with their own secret agenda. But as Bree spends time with their mysterious leader Fen, she finds herself struggling to resist his seductive charm. Caught between 2 dangerous courts, Bree must decide who to trust with her loyalty and with her heart. So that's kind of the setup. And now I'm going to give you all just like a brief rundown of how I was feeling while I was reading it and kind of my thoughts afterward. So the book starts off with her in the human realm still. This is before she finds out what this great adventure she's going to go on is. And the very beginning is set up really well. And then something takes her to the Fae Court. Again, I'm going to be very vague to avoid any spoilers. But as you already know from what I've told you about the book, something takes her to the Fae Court and she has to steal 3 magic relics. And it really comes down to 2 main love interests. And let me just be clear that the love triangle, so it is a love triangle, and is not clear. It is pitched as a love triangle too. Okay, so at about 150 pages in, the love triangle becomes way more clear, and it is definitely a slow burn. Like, the whole love triangle itself is a slow burn, which I really appreciated. So this book mixes things like A Court of Thorns and Roses with The Cruel Prince, and kind of like The Bachelor too a little bit, which I can't really tell you too much about that. You'll have to read to figure out what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's really a mix of those 3 things, and I've heard this compared a lot. It was even pitched as a book that is similar to A Court of Thorns and Roses. I would disagree. I mean, yeah, it has Fae and a human girl going to the Fae realm, but that's really about where the comparisons end, and then maybe arguably a love triangle, but that's like kind of far-fetched. But yeah, I would say it's more of like what I wanted from The Cruel Prince that I didn't get. So I rated this book 5 stars, and throughout the entire book, I thought, nah, this is like a 4-star, until we got to like the last 100 pages. But let me back up and talk more about the comparison first. I just wanted to let you all know how I rated it, because I rated The Cruel Prince 3.5 stars because it did not live up to what I thought it was going to be. The way it was pitched to me is not what I got out of that book. I wanted what I got out of These Hollow Vows when I was reading The Cruel Prince, and I just didn't get that. So this filled a really good gap for me. So I would say if you read The Cruel Prince and it didn't live up to the hype, but you liked kind of what was going on in it, even this is a little bit far-fetched in comparison, but I'm grasping at straws to find something that's similar to it. But still, while I was reading it, I felt like this is what I wanted The Cruel Prince to be. So if you felt that way too, then I would definitely encourage you to read These Hollow Vows, and maybe you'll feel more fulfilled. It was also pitched as it was going to have steamy scenes, which I will say it definitely does, and they're done really well. You just have to wait until like the very end of the book. Well, near the end of the book. But I think that's where part of the comparison to A Court of Thorns and Roses came in. And yeah, there were some steamy scenes and they were done really well. I thought I enjoyed it, and I thought it really added to the book, and it actually said something about the plot. It wasn't there just to be there. It was really well done. So yeah, speaking about the last 100 pages, let's back up and talk about the first 100 pages. So as I was reading the book, as I said, I was like, this is kind of 4 stars. I don't know like how I'm going to feel about this. This could either go either way. It's either going to go down from 4 stars or up, and it definitely went up. There's a lot of build-up, but it's really worth it. Because I say that because by the time I got to the last 100 pages, I was very much like, this is going to end in one of 2 ways. It's going to end in a way that's going to make me throw this book, and I'm not going to want to finish the series at all, and it's going to make me really, really angry. And it looked like it was heading that way. And I was like, I just invested 400 pages into this, and now we're getting to the end, and I'm going to despise this ending. That's not what happened, though. It ended exactly how I wanted to, but at the very last second, which was perfect, because I had all these emotions going. Like, I was getting really frustrated, and I was like, God, I really don't want it to end this way. And then, bam, at the very end, it ended just the way I wanted to, and it ends on what I would consider like a major cliffhanger. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading the second book. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. And again, I thought until like the very end it was going to be a 4-star, but it ended up being a 5-star. And I definitely will read it again before the next book comes out. But people who should read this are people who like particularly things with fae. Again, it has some like aspects of The Bachelor, which you'll understand when you read it. It's kind of a mystery to some degree. And it very much has like a game in it, because as you know, she's trying to steal these 3 magical relics, and sometimes in books those things get swept under the rug, but this was like a main focus of it. And also through that and through the whole story, it really touches on morality, not mortality, although that is part of this too, because there are fae involved and stuff. But it really touches on morality. Like, what is worth it? Like, we can desire things and want things to go a certain way for us, but is that the most moral choice? It also really touches on like the greater good. Like, what's good for me and my family might not be what's best for the greater good. And so what do I do with that? I really didn't expect those elements of it, and so I really appreciated that aspect of it. So yeah, if you like things kind of like what I've described, The Bachelor, A Court of Thorns and Roses, some steamy scenes, but steamy scenes that feel worth it. If you wanted The Cruel Prince to be better, I would recommend this to you. And then just in general, if you like fantasy mixed with romance and strong female characters, yeah, I would say there's no reason that you won't like this book. The writing is really good. It's pretty simple though, I will say, which for me was really good, because A Court of Thorns and Roses, in my opinion, I had to put more effort into understanding the world and the systems, and it's a much more complex novel, especially in the second one, A Court of Mist and Fury. This one's a little bit more straightforward. It definitely has a lot of world building and complex systems, but it's just like given to you like more straightforward, and I appreciated that. I was able just to like breeze through it. So it is kind of like a lighter read on the medium to longer side. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it to people, especially if you like the things that I've just listed. Again, I gave it 5 stars. I definitely will be reading the second book. It's kind of hard to give these spoiler-free reviews because you can only say so much, but I hope that this either sold you or made you think, yeah, maybe I won't spend my money on that. It's not really what I'm looking for. And if you are a fan of The Cruel Prince, because I've kind of shit on The Cruel Prince, I still think that you would like this. I'm just saying, even more to the point, if The Cruel Prince was a book that you wanted more from, or it didn't live up to the hype, in my opinion, and for me, this can replace that. In my opinion, it did a much better job. And I'm well aware that that series gets better as it goes. I haven't picked up the other 2. I do have them, but maybe I'll get around to that at some point. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you have a better idea of what you could be looking at going into These Hollow Vows. Let me know in the comments if you've read it, or if it's something that you want to read, or now you're like, yeah, I don't think I want to read that anymore. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.